Get the energy. You gotta get the energy. Oh, you did eat the lemon heads.
My tagline.
You didn't eat the lemon heads.
You can't drop my tagline. Do you guys see what I have to put up with? What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Yamcast. Today's episode 96, and we've got a good one for you. We've got news from Suzuki. Yet again, we're talking about them, Brandon.
It's another week, and I feel like we're probably going to talk about them again next time.
More Suzuki news. Yep. This time making waves not with flying cars, thankfully, but with something a little bit more interesting that we want to get into.
An actual motorcycle.
A real motorcycle.
It's weird. Right?
Yeah, a newish model.
Ish.
But kind of bold new graphics at the same time, which is what they do.
It's a Me Too movement for them.
A little bit, yeah. And then we also have news from KTM, kind of similar to the Suzuki news, with a new motorcycle with another something 90 bike. These displacements.
They have too many of them.
There's
but we'll
many
get into that. We'll make points on that.
Talk about that one too. And then we also have news from a new electric bike from our friend Eric Buell that we wanted to talk about a little bit. That's going to be a good one. Our discussion question of the week, Brandon and I are going to be hashing up about dumb things that we see motorcycle riders doing.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to talk about some silly stuff we see riders doing. We want to get the Discord in on this as well. For the Discord boys who are tuning in live right now, drop us down below in the Yamcast channel some dumb things you see riders doing. I want to get y'all's feedback on this as well. Later on in the show, we're going to talk about that. And then at the end of the show, we have the meme contest. For this one, we asked the Discord boys to come up with a new image for the Discord server. At the top left of the server right now, I believe there's just a man doing a Dan Knooner on a Turbo Hayabusa, which is pretty on brand, honestly.
It used to be on brand when you
had
a functioning Hayabusa, Turbo Busa, if you will.
I will correct you there, Brandon. And I still have a Turbo Hayabusa. So I'm the most Turbo Hayabusa guy because I have a broken Turbo Hayabusa. That's really how it goes most times with these guys.
Turbo Hayabusas are supposed to be leaking something. I'm not sure yours has anything left.
Mine leaked it all out. Yeah, I won.
You need to replace it though. Replace the stuff to keep it leaking.
Yeah. So we'll be covering all that and more on today's Yamcast. Remember, if you want to join the show and participate with everything we're doing on here, join and become a member over at yammynoob.co. You get access to Discord. You get 10% off on all your purchases. You get entries to win all of our giveaway bikes. It's a great time. It's a great way to support the show. Without further ado, let's jump into the news. All right, Brandon, our first bit of news today, the Suzuki GSX-8R is likely on its way. You know about the GSX-8S platform, right? Yeah. The Suzuki GSX-8S was, like Brandon was saying, kind of that new entry into what we're kind of calling the new UJMs from Japan. These parallel twin, larger displacement engines trying to comply with Euro 5, these kind of do-it-all motorcycles. The 8R concept over here is kind of Suzuki's answer to, in my opinion, stuff like the R7, the RS660, twin-cylinder sport bikes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is their answer to it. I don't know why they went so high with the displacement.
Yeah, it's like a, what is it? It's like a 779 or 780. I don't remember how big that engine is.
I don't know, but
it's big though.
Yeah, it seems a bit out of touch, similar to what KTM does, but what KTM does it a bit differently, so that everyone just kind of accepts it into the class with the 790. But the 800, it just seems all these classes, like we keep saying, are just merging together. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, Honda's doing it with their new Hornet 750. It's like a 749cc parallel twin. Yamaha's got the 689cc, which is class legal for twins racing. But I don't know if Suzuki wants to go racing with this thing. I think they're just doing it as more of like a kind of cool concept that I think they saw that people like the fully fared twin cylinder sport bike thing, and they're like, oh, we can do that easy.
Yeah, they just made it seems like they're just making the 8S in a sportier trim and fully fared. Don't get me wrong, people are probably going to race it just because they can, but I don't think that's the purpose for it.
No, and it might not end up looking exactly like this, but to be honest, this kind of gives me, do you remember the Suzuki SV650X? Do you remember this model? It looks a lot like that with the tan seat, the half fairing, because it doesn't have full body work, it kind of has like a semi-exposed thing, kind of Suzuki Gladius status here a little bit. But it's not the first time that they've done something like this. This article is mentioning here, the SV650, and then they made fully fared variants of it, so it kind of makes sense, It
does. And the 8S, the 8S looks good, so if they can make a fully fared version that looks even similar to the 8S, I think that's a good looking bike.
Yeah, I mean, the 8S is cool. I really want to ride one. I have not seen one in person yet, and I don't know where I'd get my hands on one, but I think it'd make for a fun first ride and review because all the ingredients are there for a fun bike. Yeah. It's like an MT-07, but just a little bit bigger.
That's what it seems. And if it has that classic kind of neutral framed feeling that Suzuki's have, that's going to be a cool bike.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So yeah, powering the new GSX-8R, I guess it would be called, is the 776 parallel, the 776cc parallel twin we were talking about earlier. So this is what that engine kind of looks like. Brand new architecture for Suzuki. But I gotta say, just squinting at it, it does look exactly like the MT-07 engine, almost. And again, remember, these engines, for the folks at home, they're becoming more and more popular because they're very easy to make. You know, when you have two cylinders together like this, architecturally speaking, versus a V-twin versus a four-cylinder, this is really easy to make. You can make decent power and torque and meet emissions regulations easier because you just have less gases flowing through. Multi-cylinder engines are very hard to meet emissions, which is kind of a miracle that Kawasaki got the ZX-4RR to meet emissions, honestly. I guess they neutered the power for North America, so that's probably what they did.
Destroy the power on it, but yeah, that architecture of engine, there's not a whole lot you can do with it. So there's these engines from manufacturer to manufacturer aren't too different. So this isn't going to be like some grand evolution for the Suzuki, but it is most likely going to be a very reliable engine.
Yeah, it should be pretty dead reliable. One thing I wanted to point out here, this article mentions here, talking about that makes plenty of sense as the whole parallel twin project that led to the Suzuki GSX-8S and V-Strom 800 was first introduced to the public as the turbocharged recursion concept bike back in 2013. Back then it was a 588cc single overhead cam twin with an exhaust-driven blower to boost power to 100 horsepower. But within 2 years it evolved into the dual overhead cam XE7 engine, still boasting a turbo, and then the 776cc twin and the GSX-8S, all identical to that prototype, albeit shorn of the turbo.
Yeah, that's a cool design to put it right there, straight up.
That is a really cool design.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that they didn't end up going with it.
Dude, I would give anything for a turbo factory Suzuki. Doesn't have to be a Busa.
They just lean into the lure.
A boost, just a boosted Suzuki from the factory.
I don't care if it's 1 psi of boost.
I don't care what it is. It would be so cool. It would be so neat to have factory turbo bikes. I understand why everyone's just doing like this parallel twin simple thing, but I like companies that take risks. You know, like I saw recently, like this small company in the UK made this rotary powered bike that was really crazy. Kawasaki obviously makes the supercharged bikes. You know, it would be really cool.
That's why that bike is so cool. The H2 is because it's one of the first bikes to just be factory like that. It's really cool.
So if this recursion model, the GSX-8R, does feature some sort of turbo or something like that, I would be over the moon. That would make it extremely interesting.
And if they did make it to properly race, that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be really cool.
It would be so chaotic to try to race a turbo bike.
Oh, yeah.
It would be so chaotic.
Like, you're just racing with the thousands. Like, but I'm not. It's a twin.
They're like, I'm making 100 horsepower. It doesn't matter. You're boosted. You're racing the thousands. Yeah. No, but I don't... In your memory of club racing, has anyone ever tried to race a forced induction motorcycle?
No. Not in my recollection.
Yeah.
I don't... It's probably been tried.
Someone probably tried it, but...
And someone's probably tried to say, no, it doesn't have a turbo, and then you hear the whistling. You're like, no, it definitely does.
Yeah, it sure does. So the article's rounding out here. It says, for Suzuki, this non-turbo model, perhaps be called the GSX-8F, rather than adopting the Gixxer branding, is likely to be a more important mainstream offering than any future turbocharged derivative, offering a appeal of the GSX-8S, the bonus of a fairing to make long-distance rides less of a chore. So, pretty cool stuff. If we do get a turbo Suzuki, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to call my local dealership and get on the list and pay whatever I need to get that bike.
Yes, absolutely.
I will do anything
we will keep
to get it.
We won't even get away. We'll keep it.
Oh, I'll buy two of them, one to keep and one to... Because they'll never make it again.
No, yeah, absolutely.
It's like the H2. You're like, you should have one just because they're never going to make it again. And it's
have
like
it and just
one
let
of
it
a kind.
Appreciate in value.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I touch motorcycles and they depreciate in value. So
fair. No, Yami who owned it? Oh, no.
It's half off now.
Yeah. You're not... no.
All right, moving on to the next bit of news. We have the 2025 KTM RC990 prototype going out for a ride here. Let's take a look at this bike really quick. Winglets and all, kind of the classic Duke, or excuse me, the RC styling here, right? Kind of a beefy radiator fairing setup here.
It looks almost oversized radiator. That's what it kind of looks like. It's an oversized radiator for it.
It does look a little bit of a bigger radiator than it should have.
Almost as if they're making it, because KTM's thing is ready to race. If they make that, that's going to be the long-awaited thing to replace the RC8 that we all loved. That's awesome. But I want to point out, I'm kind of tired of seeing these whatever 90 engines.
I can't keep up.
They made a 690, they made a 790, they made an 890. If this is good,
now it's a 990.
It's a 990.
Yeah, they used to make a 1090.
It was 1190.
1190. Yeah. I'm thinking of Ducati 1098.
So they're probably going to make a 1090 at this point because why not? And then, where does it stop? I'm kind of tired of seeing the 990s, but...
Yeah. The 990 is also an older version of a KTM. They used to make a twin cylinder, V-twin 990.
Really? I didn't know. Yeah, no.
So we're back to that again now.
So we're bringing it back.
It's super confusing.
We're just doing all the 90s. But if the bike looks cool, like at least in that kind of architecture with the KTM orange, that's going to look good.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of the KTM. You have a soft spot for them.
I do.
Yeah.
Those frames, those Chelsea frames, and that color,
they're cool.
Sick.
They're cool. I think you've heard what KTM said about the sport bike kind of thing, right? Where they're like, oh, like we don't want to make fully faired bikes for the street because it's going to be, like, oh, it's too dangerous for public roads, but they make like the Super Duke 1290 and stuff like that.
Yeah, these things that make way too much power.
Yeah, so it's like, I just think it's bizarre that they have this weird like fatwa on sport bikes where like they only make the RC390. They also make the track only RC8C, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, but they didn't talk about it, so they didn't really market it. But back when I was, in the pro paddocks at least, I was talking to the KTM guys, and when KTM got into MotoGP, I was like, oh, sweet. So what bike is going to happen?
Yeah.
Where is it going to go?
Like,
and they're like,
fuck you.
Yeah, they're like, nothing. We're not going to do that. I'm like, then what is the point of you being in MotoGP? Just saying you could do it? Like,
they just wanted to win.
You're going to have to get some sort of technology, some sort of return on investment on it. Like, that's insane to me that you wouldn't put any of that technology into a bike.
And not only that, but there needs to be some sort of like road to track product offering. Yeah. Like Yamaha's M1 uses the same firing order as the R1, which they also race in Superbike. That's all. It all lines up. You see Rossi behind us there. You're like, wow, he's riding on the bike that I ride around.
It makes sense. But KTM right now, if you're a KTM fan, you can't turn around and be like, okay, I want to buy a dirt bike. Like you can't. It doesn't correlate to what it.
Have you heard? Because you know that CF Moto and KTM are kind of in bed with each other, right? Have you heard that CF Moto is planning on releasing a V4 Superbike?
I heard that.
That is loosely based on the RC16 MotoGP bike. And I was like,
yes.
So we're going to get a Chinese Superbike before we get a freaking RC16. Like, come on, man.
I heard those rumors and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So if they are working on that's true, I feel like KTM would come out with it first. That way they can get some sort of profit off of it.
For sure.
And then CF Moto makes a cheaper variant, if you will.
Yeah. So RC990 here. What can we say about this? We only have a couple spy shots to go off of here. We'll cycle through them here for you guys. I'm seeing big old winglets, very, very RC16 race bike, honestly. These look just like the ones on the MotoGP bike.
And the tail does too.
Yeah, the tail looks pretty racy
of the
too.
RC16.
Look at that. This is definitely prototype headlight, but my God, that's disgusting.
Oh yeah, well, you can tell that's like 3D printed too.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, we're just gonna figure out some lights on this.
It's a pretty meaty exhaust.
Yeah,
that muffler is pretty meaty.
You gotta really meet all those compliances.
But imagine the noise.
Really short, stumpy little tail. Yeah, a 990 parallel twin probably.
Imagine
I would
the noise
think
that makes.
Yeah,
is
barks
insane.
probably.
If they made that, I don't know if it'd be cool if it was a twin. But
did Kramer make one based on the twin, or was it just on the single? I can't remember.
I thought they just made one on the single.
I think it was just a single, right?
I don't know. But if they did make this a single, that piston would be enormous.
Oh, no, this isn't a single for sure. What I was saying is like if Kramer had like a race bike that was based on the twin, I don't know if they do.
Either way.
I think the closest thing we have to this is that RC8C parallel twin one-off race bike. Not one-off, but they made like 40 of them, I think. They really didn't make too many of them.
Yeah.
But that was one that when people bought, they had the chance to go to Jerez and do a track day with Danny Pedrosa. And I was like, that's so fucking cool. I was like, I wish I had 60 grand to burn on.
I love what he does with that. What he's doing for that team.
Oh yeah,
he's
they've
taking
done
that
really
team to
well.
new heights.
Really well. Anything else you're seeing on this, Brandon?
Honestly, no. It does look like you have a pretty upright riding position. Considering
Yeah,
you're sitting, like in the bike.
This looks. Yeah, he's actually pretty low.
Yeah,
he's not really on top of it, and he's not really down low here with his handlebars.
Yeah.
That's actually not.
So for being a
Look at that.
yeah.
It's actually maybe, honestly, we were just talking about the GSX-8R. Maybe this is that same kind of bike, a street-oriented parallel twin road-going offering.
What bike is that he's on that already has an Akrapovic exhaust? Is
This
that
one?
an R1?
No, I think it's another one of these, isn't it? No,
They're already making an Akrapovic exhaust for it, a full system, or are they going to make a race variant for it?
They might make a race variant. This has to be the same bike, and they're trying different fairings, right? Like, yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's different. Those bikes are different.
This is a different swing arm.
Those are
this
different
is
wheels.
This is a totally different thing.
Those look like Marchesini wheels.
Yeah, these are the lightweight ones. This swing arm looks like an RC390 swing arm, to be honest.
That one's a solid aluminum.
This one's the aluminum one. This is a prototype bike that they're running.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get closer to this is the one we were just looking at.
Yeah, so go back. The other one doesn't even have mirrors. That one has mirrors, it looked like.
Yeah, this one?
That one has mirrors. That one doesn't.
And maybe they're trying different swing arms and trying different things.
Or they're going to be prepared to have a race variant of it.
I would love that.
That would be cool, because if they're already thinking that, it looks
maybe an RC990R or something like that. That would be pretty cool. So, yeah, we've seen 990 Duke prototypes and now the RC990. There's really not a whole lot here. This article is saying rumblings of about 140 horsepower, torque unspecified, Brembo Stylema calipers, they're lightly disguised, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think we're just entering this new world of this big twin sport bike, which is funny because that RSV Melee that I rode is that thing, and they're fun. Like that thing had about 140 horsepower, and I was like, "This is great."
That's what it used to be back in the day, and then it was very archaic. There's no electronics on it. The tach barely works, because it's an Aprilia. And it seems like we're making that shift, and we're going back to it just with a lot more electronics on it.
Yeah,
it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, maybe we're entering now the new UJM era with the parallel twins, and now a new big twin superbike era. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. It's gonna be fun to see because that looks pretty cool, even with its really ugly headlight.
I think, again, like I said, because KTM doesn't have any proper sport bikes right now, any news that I get about a new RC bike, I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, let's check it out.
I'll take anything at this point.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
give me something.
So, Brandon, for this next piece of news, you wanted to do something kind of fun, right?
I did.
Okay, I can pull this up and close my eyes if you want, because I haven't heard anything.
I got it on my phone here. So
you got it on your phone? Okay.
I got it right here on my phone. So, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to tell me not only what class of bike this falls into, but I also want you to tell me how you think it will handle, and what the price is. Okay.
Give me those specs.
All right.
Let's see.
So I'm going to tell you first the torque at 553 foot-pounds, max output.
553.
553.
So an electric bike with those crazy torque numbers.
Yep. Okay. This is correct.
Yep.
47 horsepower. Continuous flow, whatever. We know it's an electric bike.
It's a diesel engine.
Yes, it's a good old diesel. This is the part I'm not too happy about. Top speed of 85.
Okay.
150 mile range in urban conditions.
Okay.
So not sure what the highway is. And we're looking at a seat height of 30.1 inches.
Okay.
And a claimed weight of 400 pounds. Would you like to know the tire sizes to help you out?
Yes.
Front is a 110/70/17. The rear is a 140/70/17. So tell me, what class of bike do you think that falls into?
Yes.
How you think it will handle, and what price do you think you would put on that bike?
Yeah, so, man, a 140 section rear tire pushing 500 and something foot-pounds of torque. But
max output. Yep.
But 40-something horsepower.
Correct.
Electric bike torque figures are always just total...
Yeah.
Like, they're so bogus.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make any... You would die. You would die.
You would just die. You would just flip.
The wheel would just come off.
Yeah. No, it would shrink into the chain or whatever, the belt. I mean, to be honest, dude, that sounds kind of like I'm going to disregard the torque figure because that's ridiculous.
That's fair.
It kind of sounds like a Ninja 400.
Okay.
Honestly, right? Like, What'd you say the weight was? 400 something pounds?
Claimed 400 pounds.
Well, it's like a chunky Ninja 400.
Like a chunky Ninja 400. The seat height is 30.1 inches.
It sounds kind of like a Ninja 400. And I'm gonna ballpark the price. Electric bike. Yeah,
so a little extra there.
10K, 9K,
12,995. So it's a little juicy.
Ugh.
It's a little juicy, but I thought the same thing that you did with the weight here. But you can click on this article, and we'll find it at the start here. So that's the bike right there.
The Fuell Flow with 2 L's emerge.
And actually, I like the look of it.
I think it looks pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool. There's no room for a passenger, so I don't have to take my wife anywhere, which is pretty cool. She doesn't like riding on the back anyways. I'd like to make that point, but
mine doesn't either.
Yeah, so I can be by myself. But it actually looks pretty sleek.
It looks very futuristic.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're noticing there, but you see the rear wheel.
Yeah, I do see that rear wheel.
So you would think, oh, engine, chain, sprockets.
On the other side, right? Yeah, I got the drive on the other side, right?
No.
It's one of the hub motors, right?
The engine is in the wheel.
Wow.
So a good portion of that weight of the 400 pounds, I would imagine at least 50 of it,
has to be back here.
Is unsprung weight.
Oh, that'd be so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it would handle
And I'm wondering exactly how that's going to deliver its power, because I don't know how that would feel, because it's obviously single-sided swing arm.
Yeah. Do we have photos of it on the other side? Okay, we do. Yeah, so it's got a single-sided swing arm here.
Yeah, and then it has just a brace going to the other side for the license plate on the back.
Yeah, and then monoshock in the back.
Yep. 40 millimeter forks, I believe, in the front.
You know what else you're thinking about, too, is massive battery pack is going to be here, and then massive weight. Oh, dude, that'd be weird.
Yeah, so that tank right there that you would be leaning on, is all empty. That's all storage.
Yeah, so a low CG.
Yeah, very, very low. So all the weight is really down low.
Really low.
I was thinking like, oh, it'd be weird.
But that means it's not going to pivot quickly because the weight isn't up high. It doesn't have the pendulum effect, right?
So it'd actually be very, very stable. So I'm very interested. Especially because, I mean, it is from Eric Buell. He does love motorsports.
Is this Eric Buell doing this?
It's
Eric Buell's latest electric outfit. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's gonna handle well, dude. For sure.
I think it will, and not necessarily that this is made for track applications. I'm not saying that, but I'll say the innovator. I'm not an innovator, but the enthusiast in me, because I do love Buell motorcycles, even though I didn't know what the Buell Blast was. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. I think the weight and how it handles is going to be very, very weird to get used to. Yeah, but I think that's going to be pretty cool.
I had the chance to ride a XB9, a Buell. It's one of the ones that has I think it's the gas in the frame or something like that. And I think the oil's in somewhere else. Like all this stuff's not where it's supposed to be, you know? And I was really surprised at how it handled. Honestly, it handled really beautifully. It just had this weird like Sportster engine or whatever, like just a total dog of a motor. But you could tell, I was like, oh, someone who like really knows how to build up like the handles built this. And so if Buell's doing that too, for this one, I bet it's kind of cool.
The only experience I have with a Buell, I'm not gonna lie, is their 1190.
Did you ride one of those?
No. So Alonso had one. You know Alonso, right?
I don't think so.
Contreras. He was a good guy out at CMRA. But he had an 1190 Buell, and the only experience I have is watching him ride it, and went to his pit and he started it, and I had no idea. I thought they sounded like an RCA.
Nasty, right?
He started it was like, and it just vibrated the ground beneath you, and it was phenomenal. I couldn't hear myself think.
Was that the one with the Rotax engine, the nasty one?
I think so. It was nasty bike. Yeah. He had that thing fully race prepped, and it was amazing to see. I made sure to go out of my way to watch those races, even though he didn't do well on it because he had struggles with it because it's a Buell. But it was really, really cool to see.
They were pretty competitive, I think, in 09 and AMA. Like they were pretty good.
With Eslick, Danny Eslick.
He was riding it.
They did really, really well. Yeah.
I think he wanted to get it to Superbike. I think he wanted to try to get it over there. But that was right when twins were kind of getting phased out at that point.
It was poor timing. It was a great bike, but poor timing.
Even Ducati couldn't make the Panigales, the 1299s and 1199s work in Superbike.
And that was right around the time where Yamaha made the brand new R1, and that was that was destroying everything.
The bike,
yeah, exactly.
So this is those specs are interesting for this thing.
Yeah, and I'm not too excited about the 150 mile range rather, especially because you can only go 85. You know,
Yeah.
I would like to go a bit faster.
And I'll be totally honest, we've tested a lot of these electric bikes, and those range figures, if you do the speeds we do here on highways, dude, it gets obliterated.
Exactly.
You'll get like 60 miles of range.
Yeah, so like 150-mile range, normally in a gas car, you're like, okay, cool. Well, that extends when it's highway miles. Cause
it's the opposite for electric.
It's opposite for electric. So you're only talking, let's say, 60-mile range for highway. So you can't get anywhere in our state.
Yeah.
You know, I can barely drive into town with where I live to Dallas, you know.
Yeah.
You can't, I can't do it.
It's just funny thing about in Texas, you're like, I got to get into town to 85 miles an hour.
Exactly. I'll be there in 30 minutes. You know, it's pretty insane. But so what application or where this could be used, it would have to be West and East Coast. The really tight cities.
Yeah. And that's really where electric vehicles are going to be for, you know, most of the time, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Like until we figure out a little bit better battery tech, it's going to be, you know, slow speeds around the town. But this is kind of like, this is a really cool, like futuristic city slick kind of bike, you know, like exactly if you had one of these, you could definitely have that like Tron cyberpunk.
Exactly. And I wish we had a photo of what the cargo compartment looks like, but I don't know if you saw, you can scroll up just a little bit there. The last picture right there.
Yeah, this like scooches all out as one piece, right?
So yeah, it scooches out, but it looks a lot like a car charger, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, they should use the same because the Zero ones use the same ones.
Exactly. Yeah. So they made this to accept the superchargers, the fast chargers.
Yeah, that's good.
Bike. It's still a 30-minute charging time on the fast charger.
That's honestly not bad though.
It's not horrible, but I'm more of a I don't like stopping and sitting type thing unless I'm going to Buc-ee's, of course.
Yeah,
I do like Buc-ee's.
But as it says down here, and this is something we tested whenever we had our Zero, cut several of them. It says it'll take several hours longer. Parentheses 10 using the home wall outlet. So you'd have to kind of plan a little bit ahead if you're going to charge it at home and stuff, but that's just electric vehicle
get home
things.
And charge it immediately.
I've never owned an electric vehicle. I've actually never even driven an electric car, if you can believe it. It's so funny because I've driven so many crazy motorcycles. My car experience is like zilch.
I've been actually really thinking lately, and we could talk about this probably off camera a bit too. I've been thinking about getting like a Model 3 lately.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like it would work at least currently for my life, you know, drive down, charge it, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't know, because I like getting stuff dirty and motorcycles and going places. So I don't know, and I don't really like the Cybertruck too much. So
I think at this point, if you're a diehard motorcyclist, best thing you can do is have a truck.
Yeah,
because then you can do whatever. I mean, you saw how many times I used mine this past week, or the week before that with H2 things and Ducati things and all kinds of stuff.
When you own motorcycles, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't own a motorcycle.
Exactly.
I want to, so I have to have a truck. That's the thing. For
this
that one
guy's
day
here on a motorcycle podcast doesn't own a freaking motorcycle.
No, I borrow yours.
That's right.
I just borrow yours.
Yeah. All right, folks. So that's going to wrap up the news portion of the podcast. We're now going to move on to the main discussion, which is dumb things we see motorcycle riders doing. All right, everybody. We are going to lambast the community a little bit, which is something I love doing here on Yami Noob. Everybody's always like, you think you're better than us. I'm like, I don't think I know.
In this case, I feel like we're going to make some people mad.
We might make them a little mad. Dumb things we see motorcycle riders do. Why don't you lead us off? What's the first one that you see him? Because we've been riding a long time. We see him riding on the streets. And as riders, that we try to be responsible, you know, sometimes.
And especially going out and recording, especially the vlogs, we see it a bunch.
I see it a bunch.
We just don't comment on it. But my biggest thing is like lane cutting. Let's say I'm already in process of passing an 18-wheeler and I'm right here. I don't have much of a gap. And just I get the motorcycle that does that. Or just go 3 lanes over, cutting through traffic. I hate that stuff. It's unnecessary.
It is a little unnecessary. Why do you think they do it, though, is the question.
They're just creating excitement, I guess. They're bored of everything else they've done, so they're just making it something else.
Making it something exciting?
Yeah. That's all I can think of.
Jigsaw Bra.
Yep. If you're watching.
Well,
if you ever get back from Dubai.
He said it, not me. I think he's back from Dubai, which is
finally?
Good. I think he made it out alive, which is good.
Somehow. I was betting that he'd get arrested.
Yeah. So lane cutting, it's like you have all these cars kind of tight in traffic, and look, we get it. Like motorcycles are small, and you can kind of like go between cars pretty easily. But like doing it excessively, you're asking
I get
for
it.
trouble.
You're like, okay, cool. You've just been sitting on behind that car for a while. Sure, I get it. That makes sense. But if you're just doing it for miles, and all I see after you've passed me is you still doing it, it's not necessary because I know there's going to be a situation where I come up and you're on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a pretty sight.
Yeah.
The next thing that actually kind of leads into that is speeding needlessly.
Yeah.
So
we've talked about this in several videos now.
We do it. Don't get me wrong, because we do the high speed pulls.
It's not needlessly.
Well,
it's for a need. We have a goal. We're filming a video.
But
that's going to be my excuse when I get pulled over and be like, you can't take me to jail. I'm making a video.
Did it for the gram.
Did it for the gram, yeah.
But sure, I get it. We do it all the time on the R6 or the H2 because we're trying to make stuff. We're trying to make a point and stuff like that. But beyond that, we're going maybe 5, 10 over.
Most of the time.
And that for a motorcycle, that is right at the speed limit anyway. So speeding needlessly, because the slightest thing can go wrong, especially in traffic conditions, and that's the end.
What's funny is I was driving my truck a few years back, and I was on the highway, and I saw this dude on a BMW S1000RR. He was like way off in my rear view. I was like, oh, okay, cool, like bike coming. I didn't realize he was just hauling. So I saw him way off in the distance. I was like, oh, cool, like, that's gonna be cool when he gets by here. He was there before I even like looked over, and I just see, bam! And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, you jerk your car. Crap. Like, yeah.
And it's funny because when you do that on a bike, you don't realize you're buzzing the tower, so to speak. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You don't realize that you're being that guy.
To you're in your zone.
To me, it's like, oh, I'm just going to get by this guy. I'm just going my speed on a motorcycle. But yeah, for cars, if you have a bike that flies by you like 140, it's a big delta, even going 60 or 70.
It's like, holy.
That guy's moving. Yeah, and it can frighten people and get them to chuck their wheels. So, yeah, try to do it not around other people. I will say for us, we have sped a little bit here and there. We always do it when there's not too many people around.
We always try to create a gap for ourselves when we do it.
Yeah, you don't want to do it where there's a bunch of people. It's not going to be good.
Make sure at least a lane is open and people aren't planning on passing each other. As much of the prep work as we can do, we try to. There's obviously instances that we're being just as dumb, at least to other people.
That's true.
But again, beyond the making of the video, we're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I wanted to bring up, it's just a little pet peeve of mine, and I've had it for years, and people hate me for it. I really don't like when people have the little duck feet on their bike.
The ones that stick just like straight out.
They ride with the bike with their heels, and they have their feet just sticking out. The reason I don't like that is because you're not in control of your bike. Yeah. You're not ready to shift or ready to hit the rear brake. Mm-hmm. You're just out here. You know, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
you're creating more work for yourself.
You're just creating more work.
That if something did happen, now you have to bring all of that back in to regain control. And it's time.
Yeah, that's just one little thing that I don't like seeing.
No,
what else, Brandon? What else are you like?
For me, probably not paying attention. And
yeah.
I mean that, like, you're jamming out to music. I get you're having a good time, but when you're looking over here or looking over there and there's stuff and people and all sorts of stuff happening in front of you and you're just anywhere else, that's not okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the situation where I pass you on while you're on the side of the road.
Yeah. I saw a dude, actually, I was just leaving the office the other day, and I pulled up here to the light right off the shop, and he filters all the way to the front in an R6. And I was like, that's cool. I like people filtering, but it was just what you described. He's wearing like muscle t-shirt. he's got the guns out. He's like, he's flexing.
Just not wearing anything.
I see him, it looked like a freaking Cardo commercial because he looks over. He's scrolling the wheel on his Cardo, and he's just like,
just jamming, not wearing any gear.
Yeah, dude. And like the light turns green, just takes off. And I was like, man, this guy's so cool. But hopefully he was paying attention. Hopefully he wasn't just like so in his zone that, he's not focused on what's going on. But one thing I did, one thing I saw that he did was the light turned green. He immediately just gunned it.
So he was paying attention.
No, he was, but I was also like, you didn't check to see if someone was going to run the red, bro.
Fair.
Like, it's not a good idea to just like, as soon as he turns green, just bam and launch.
Like you started.
Yeah, it's like, yo, someone could run the red and just obliterate you. So that's one thing I like to do is at intersection turns green. I'll wait 2 seconds, kind of take a look, and then good to go.
If it turns green, then I shift it into gear and start going.
Exactly.
There's a little delay there. I always try to make sure at least I'm in neutral.
Yeah.
Even if I'm still rolling and then it turns green, I always try to make sure I'm in neutral because it creates a delay. Because if someone does come, I don't want to be there.
Yeah. One point that I wanted to bring up, because I just mentioned filtering at a red light, which I think is great, and I do it almost all the time.
Yep.
high-speed lane filtering. I've seen videos of guys in
Yeah.
California, these big cruisers. Everyone's going 70 or 80, and they're riding between cars going up to the front. I'm like,
Inches away.
You're not
away.
gaining much in traffic at that point. You should probably just settle in. I think it's really sketchy to do that.
Yeah, one slight thing, like if I'm in my car, I decide to reach over and grab something from my seat, and I just slightly move, you're done.
That's
toast. You clip my mirror. That's a bad day for me. I got to replace a mirror, but you're having a really bad day, and you're ping ponging between cars at that point before you come to a stop.
I think high-speed lane filtering is not the best idea. Like I said, I think it's a great idea if everyone's stopped or going slow speeds and you're making a ton of progress through traffic. Awesome. I do that all the time. I hate sitting in traffic on a bike. Like, especially here, it's hot. I'm sweaty. I'm on a hot bike. I'm like, I chose to be on this bike. I'm going to try to get ahead. I'm using my advantage.
Try to stay moving at some point. Yeah. But you stop bumper to bumper traffic. I get it. Cool. Go on the shoulder maybe. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Just at speed when we're all going probably a little, especially in Texas, a little over the speed limit. Yeah. There's no reason for you to do it. There's really no reason.
You're not going to gain. What about you? Another
my thing that probably goes off of not paying attention is swerving in your own lane. Like going from edge to lane to edge to lane. There's no.
Do you mean in corners or going straight where they're just kind of
in any really situation? If you're going from the right side of your bike to the left side of your bike while we're just going,
but
and
Brandon,
you're not leaving your lane.
But Brandon, no, I have to warm up my
you're
tires.
Gonna have chicken strips anyway. Stop doing it.
No, but I love the thing where it's like people say they have to warm up their tires,
No,
and I'm
you
like,
don't.
that's not, first of all, no, you don't on the street. But second of all, you warm up your tires by building heat into them.
Yep.
If you actually want to do that, accelerate really hard and brake really hard. Yep. If you watch racers when they're pulling out a pit, they're going whop, woo, whop, woo. Yep. They're getting heat in the tires. Swerving doesn't do anything.
Nope. All that does is once you have the heat built up, it distributes the heat more evenly. But when you have no heat to begin with, you're not doing anything. So that I feel is pretty dumb, at least in my book. I just hate seeing it. It's like there's no point. You're wasting your own energy. You're wasting my energy, and I'm just watching you do it, and it's brutal. It's awful.
Brutal.
I hate it.
I one thing that I see in relation to that is not necessarily swerving the lanes, but like when you see guys in like twisties and canyons, going like all the way outside in their lane, I'm like, that's, the line, so to speak, on street. We were just riding on street today, and you were like, this is kind of crazy. And I'm like, yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Yeah, you saw me run wide.
I was like, I just heard in the car, they're just like, it's going wide. But yeah, the racing line on the street is just avoiding like stuff, the oil and stuff, and just trying to keep visibility.
Avoid curbs, rocks, people, dogs. Like
that's
all you're doing. There's no line.
There's no like apexes and hitting shit hard. Like there's not really like that.
Not dying. That's the line.
Not dying. That's it. Yeah. To survive. Brandon, this one I think is near and dear to your heart.
See what you're doing.
No, I'm not that one just yet. I'm saving that one for last.
Okay.
This one you actually wrote is needlessly redlining and rev bombing.
Hate that.
You don't want to hear the bike, bro?
No.
You don't want to hear it?
So I actually just mentioned it in the ZX4 that I did the other day, yesterday, I think. That'll be coming out next week. But I mentioned that the exhaust notes, they sound great, awesome, perfect.
Yeah.
But when I'm sitting at a red light and all I see across the way is just a red-lined R1, I have a headache immediately. There's this sense of internal rage that comes over me.
Right.
Because not only do I hate you, but everyone around you hates you. I know you feel like you're having the time of your life and you want to hear that bike, but a red light is not the place to do it. Or when we're going down 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's not the place to do it. If we're under a bridge, cool. Have a blast. I get it. People do it in cars all the time. Have fun. But when we're going 30 miles an hour or sitting at a red light, your bike best be idling. Otherwise, I will have an internal rage for it.
All right, I totally agree. I hate guys that are just like pinging it off the limiter. They do it a lot at bike nights. It happens a lot.
In a parking lot.
In the parking lot.
What are you doing, dude?
It's just a thing. It's part of our culture, I guess you could call it.
I've hated that since I was a kid when my dad used to take me to bike nights. I hated it.
It is pretty weird, yeah. But the one thing I wanted to get your take on, what about guys, Harley guys are the most prone to do this, but sport bike guys do it too. You're at the light, you're not redlining it, but you're just going, whom. Boom, boom, boom.
So
boom. You're just kind of tickling the throttle a little bit. You've seen that, right?
So
and I'm guilty of doing that sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds cool.
I can't hate that. You
get a little
two to maybe 8, depending on the bike, 1,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Cool. I get it. I do. I'm guilty of it. It does bother me if I'm in a car, but my thing is like rev bombing. Like when you're driving by and we're all going 70 on the highway, and just for no reason, and you just want to stare at me because you think I'm in your way or something like that. Yeah.
It's very aggressive, very aggressive riding, right? It's very in your face, right? We're like, some guy's riding a bike, a car kind of swerves in front of them a little bit, maybe cuts them off a little bit. They just rev bomb, get up next to them, look them over, like flip them off. It's like, yo, you're doing.
We have horns for a reason.
Yeah, like chill out.
Yours
man.
works just as well as mine, and I have a Hyundai Elantra, so we know mine doesn't work as well.
That's right.
And your bike works just as well as mine, and I can hear it. Use your horn, I swear.
Yeah, use your horns, guys. Rev bombing is just,
you're doing more damage to your own bike anyways.
Yeah, it's just not.
The rev limiter is there to save the motor from immediately blowing up. Yeah, but you're still causing more wear on your motorcycle.
You're causing unnecessary wear, for sure. Brandon, I also had this one on here. I'm not. It's not the one you think yet. Honestly, I'll let you go into one. Yeah,
I'm gonna read your note.
This one for me, and I kind of got clued into this from Jixer Bra. It's chasing high-speed wheelies. I feel like there's a lot of guys out there. I've seen them on Instagram a lot now too. They're going out there trying to get the cool shots for TikTok or Instagram, and they haven't developed the skill to hit perfect balance point wheelies. And I'll be honest, I don't know how to do it either. I can just do like little parking lot wheelies or the kind of little chase them out of second gear or whatever. But I've seen the dudes like they're on Gixxer thousands, third, fourth gear. They flick the clutch. They start chasing out this wheel at like 140 miles an hour. Yeah. I'm like, bro, you are going to die. Yeah. This is a really dumb thing to do.
By the time that front wheel comes down, you've gone a mile.
Yeah,
and you can't.
If you put it down slightly off, tank slapper. You get it back too far. Have fun looping out at 100+ miles an hour
with your sandals on because you're riding it.
Yeah, which is one of the other points we have on here. But dude, super sketch, right?
Yeah, like, no, I can agree because I can't ride out a wheelie. I can't start a wheelie.
I think that's so crazy.
I can ride one out if it's going. It's cool. I'll ride it out. Let it come down naturally. I'm fine with it. Yeah, but no, those chasing for no reason, going 140. You can't see well.
No,
you can't see everything in front of you. Let's say you're looking off the left side of your bike. A car could come over because they don't see you. Yeah, you're going 140 and just now you're catapulted.
Talk about not having front brakes. The wheel isn't touching the ground.
Exactly. And we know that you're not in a position to touch your rear brake anyways.
Exactly, because you're chasing it. Exactly. That's the thing.
The only way that thing is coming down is if you let off and hope it comes down. Yeah. Because otherwise, if you let off and your balance changes a little bit, guess what? Right on back.
Yeah. It's a sketchy place to be with the chasing high-speed wheelies. And I really, like I said, started getting clued into that from Jixer Brock because he and I were talking about wheelies, and he was like, yeah, I've seen a lot of guys do that, like high-speed stuff. It's so sketchy.
You see it all over YouTube.
Yeah, because when I was doing the parking lot with the little one, it's low stakes. You loop it out a little bit, you catch it, doesn't matter. I thought about it, I was like, dude, if I was on 1,000 and just
what are you gonna catch?
See you later.
You're not catching 400 pounds.
So scary. Yeah, so scary.
There's a classic. I know if he watches this, he's gonna hate me.
You're gonna bring it up, aren't you? I know exactly what you're gonna bring up. Yeah. Go ahead.
R1 at a little Pravnov race at CMRA.
Was it Pravnov?
It was a Pravnov race.
Damn.
I was in that race too, being as an instructor for it. And
it was a new gen R1, right? One of the new ones with launch control.
2015.
Yeah, supposed to have launch control.
Exactly. And I think he thought he had it in. I'm not too sure. But it ended up, everyone heard it at the start. We're like, that doesn't sound like the launch control. That just sounds like rev limiter. And sure enough, when the light went out and let go, he stayed still. The bike went whoop and hit the guy in front of him.
Horrible.
Oh, I felt so bad for that. I was like,
that guy's just there.
Oh my god,
he's just existing. He just gets ass packed by an R1.
Yeah, he gets headbutted by the rear wheel of an R1. That's what happened.
That's rough.
I felt so bad for both of them because I mean, you're new to racing and you're still learning.
You're figuring out.
It was an awful situation. He's still living with that because people still bring it up, and I haven't brought it up, and I'm sorry if you're watching this.
Yeah,
no, it's a classic thing. It's just not necessary.
Yeah,
to
it's
do that
not.
type of stuff. It just happens so quick. You're not catching it.
No, chasing wheelies is not a good idea. Brandon, what's another one we have on here?
Well, I can go to what I wanted to talk
Go
to.
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
When you're owning, or rather turboing, a Hayabusa.
Yeah, pretty dumb.
Yeah, no.
Pretty stupid.
Yeah, your bike's not surviving. It'll be cool in the moment.
It'll be cool for a little bit.
Yeah.
You're here for a good time, not a long time with that kind of bike.
But rather, I want to specify this a little more. If you're street riding a turboed Hayabusa, because if you're drag racing, you have a purpose. There's a purpose in doing it. You're trying to compete. Cool. Have fun. They're cool to watch. I love watching those races. But if you're street riding, I'm looking at you, a turbo Hayabusa.
Let me ask you a question.
That is pretty dumb.
Before you lambast me so deeply for that, have you ever ridden a turbo Hayabusa?
No.
Then you don't know.
You don't know. There has never been a point in my life that I have desired to ride a turbo Hayabusa.
I didn't either until I rode one, and then I wanted to ride it all the time.
I was like, I gotta ride this.
Dude, hell yeah. You rode the H2.
I did.
It's cool, right?
Is it the same?
It's that, but more raw. It's the same thing, but more raw. And so it's like,
because the thing about the
more
H2,
scary. You're like, whoa, it's cool.
The thing about the H2 is it feels like a 1000. It feels like it can.
Yeah, the Busa doesn't feel like a 1000.
Yeah, it feels like
mine was lowered, and it's stupid.
You can't ride.
It's pretty dumb.
Yeah, no,
but it's kind of cool too.
Is that why it's still sitting over there? Because you're like, one day it'll come back.
Yeah. The last point I wanted to make is dumb things we see doing, and we should have started this one probably, is no helmet, no gear.
You mentioned that a bit earlier.
I did?
With where he's wearing the muscle shirt and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think a lack of a helmet is genuinely inexcusable.
The only thing...
I cannot understand why you wouldn't do that.
I agree. The thing that pisses me off more, because I would rather see you with no helmet than a helmet that's belted, that's stuck to the back, the passenger seat.
Yes.
If it's buckled in for the passenger... That pisses me off. I would rather see you with no helmet.
Yeah, just commit. Don't have a helmet. Just commit. There's nothing that could predict, because that one drives me nuts, because it's like, so just put it on.
Yeah. Have you seen the riders that have two?
Yeah, that's what I'm
one
saying.
On the right and one on the left.
That's what I'm saying. And they're not wearing one. I'm like,
there's no one on the back.
Yeah.
Just put one on. I don't care that it's hot. You're moving.
My favorite are the guys that they don't have a helmet, and then they have the hat. There's like a hat that's stuck
under there.
Stuffed under there. I'm like, okay, you have a hat.
Well, you save the hat.
Save the hat. Yeah. And then obviously no gear, no shoes, nothing like that, no proper boots.
The flip flops is the best.
No gear is
Yeah.
Pretty dumb. I gotta be honest. Yeah.
We've done, like, when we rode the mystery bike, we will say for now.
Were we not wearing gear?
We just put a helmet on. That's all we put on.
It was just up and down.
No, guys, it's just up and down the road. Yeah, no. They have a similar. Oh, it's just down the road. Oh, it's just the next city. It's where does it stop?
That's the thing. That they start expanding their definition. Yeah, I like personally for me, if I'm going on a real ride, I wear all my gear. Right.
For me,
if I'm taking something around the block, I might just wear a helmet.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
If I'm taking it around the block, the worst that I will do is I will always wear a helmet.
Yes.
I will always. I would rather lose an arm than a head.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Cool. It's going to suck. My life's going to be impacted either way, but I'm going to save my head.
How unlucky would you be? You're taking a bike around the block. You don't wear a jacket or whatever. You lose an arm. It's like, wow, that's pretty stupid.
Mm-hmm. You could have delayed, getting on the bike by 4 seconds and it wouldn't have happened. Like that stuff is crazy to me to see.
It is crazy. And there's people that I've heard stories of where they're like, yeah, I went around the block without a helmet and now I'm a vegetable or whatever. Now I'm paralyzed or whatever. It's like, dude.
And I've even seen it, growing up in the racing scene, that people wear all their gear and they still end up like that. A good friend of mine is like that. And I really do hate seeing him like that.
Yeah.
But it only makes you wonder how much worse would it have been if they didn't have the gear on.
Oh yeah,
they had all the proper gear on. So it's
for sure.
People always, the people that don't wear gear always bring up the instances of the people that do wear gear and still have the same injury. I'm like, it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's so
with
reduced.
No gear, you're dead.
Yeah.
So that.
But maybe in their brains they're like, well, I'd rather be dead than be a vegetable or someone in that kind of state.
Some people's mindsets are like that.
Yeah.
But
I don't think
hate
like
to
that.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Let's turn over to the Discord now and see anybody tell us dumb things that they see people doing.
People with no gear, brake checking. I hate when a motorcycle brakes check.
So Endar Boom says people with no gear brake checking. Yeah, brake checking is pretty stupid.
Yeah.
in a car or anything. It's so dumb.
If you are in a smaller vehicle, brake checking a bigger vehicle, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if I'm on my Elantra brake checking an 18-wheeler, I'm asking whatever's coming.
Yeah.
Like, I'm asking for it.
Yeah, the rules of the road is basically the big one wins.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not winning that. So you're on a motorcycle, you're not winning.
You're not winning anything. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The big one wins every time.
Even if you're doing it to a moped, you're still losing because both of you are going down.
I was explaining to my wife actually about that with the right of way and stuff, and I was like, the big one gets to go first. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, if there's a huge ass truck and they want to go, I'm just going to let them go. I'm not going to get in their way.
It's like chicken. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
I might do it if it's the same size, but otherwise, if it's bigger than me, I'm not playing chicken with it. I'm sorry. I'm really not.
Yeah. Iron Jade says, squids doing wheelies on the interstate while lane splitting at 100 plus. I swear they have a dash wish and helmet is wholly unnecessary. Yeah, I've seen videos of people doing that kind of stuff, doing wheelies while lane splitting. I'm just like, dude, why? Like, I think it's just the adrenaline rush must be so great that they're like, yeah.
That's why I try to tell those people, like, get on the track, dude. They're like, it's not the same. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not. You're not buzzing.
It's not the same thing.
At 100 plus miles an hour.
The feeling is the same.
But there's an ambulance waiting for you to crash instead of one that's 45 minutes away. I'd rather see you be a little less having your fun than
I saw a sobering statistic. I mean, you can bleed out in 5 to 7 minutes, depending on what happens to you. That's it, 5 to 7 minutes.
I've seen a racer get his leg decapitated on the racetrack, and the ambulance was right there.
Wow.
And he has his leg to this day. And it was not a pretty
His
sight.
leg was decapitated. What do you mean?
Like, completely off of his body.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, wow.
Yep. I could show you him later off stream, but yeah, he's walking.
Wow. That's impressive.
He is walking. He is alive. He has a wife, kid. Yep.
Wow.
He doesn't race anymore, obviously. He did try to come back after that.
Wow, that's impressive.
And he was actually pretty fast, but no, his leg was just bothering him. And dude, none of us fought him when he just didn't come back.
That's fair.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what the Discord had to say here. They're also trying to get me to buy a prepped V4S apparently, which I'm not going to do. I can't be doing that. Got too many other things going on.
It's expensive.
That is expensive. And so with that, folks, that's going to wrap up the discussion. And now we're going to move on to the meme contest where we have people submit in the new image for the Discord server. Let's do it. All right, everyone, it's time for the contest of the week. For this week, we had a fun one, a simple one. We had you guys send us out a new image for the Discord server's main banner. So I'm going to show you guys how that looks on Discord. So we have this image right up here right now. I think that's like the welcome image or the server image. Right now, it's a dude doing a wheelie on a Turbo Busa, very on brand. Brandon believes that it's not because I don't own a functioning Turbo Hayabusa anymore, which to that I say, I'm the most Turbo Hayabusa man of Turbo Hayabusa men because mine doesn't work.
But have you done dank nooners on your Turbo Hayabusa?
Hell no.
Well, how can you be a Turbo Hayabusa owner if you haven't done
I don't know, man.
dank nooners?
One day that thing will be fixed, and I'm like, go do a dank nooner on it. And you'll go full brown mode like I did riding it.
And then you will, again, not have a functioning higher Turbo Hayabusa.
Exactly, yeah. I'll bring Jigsaw out and just blow it up all over again. So let's run through these. We're just going to pick a favorite, and that person will get the ultimate glory of having the image in the top here, and then also I'll send you about $100 for the Yammy Noob store.
Let's go.
Well, let's do it. So X Thumper Simp says here full send. Some dudes flat track sliding. This is a pretty cool image.
Is that American Super Camp? I feel like that's American Super Camp, and that's JD Beach.
Yeah. Actually, that could be because I know that X has gone to that quite a few times.
Mm-hmm. I actually love. I haven't gone to one of those in years.
That is place to be. Quite the slide. It looks like he's not going to make that, but you know he is.
360s.
That's so wild.
It's so cool to see.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I really want to do that. That's the Colin Edwards one, right? Or is that
no? I forgot his name. He's a cool guy. X racer. No, it is. I did mine in Colorado, I believe.
Oh, they went in Colorado and California, right?
Yeah.
Like
that.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they're cool guys. Colin does something similar, but they do theirs in like horse stable arenas.
Oh, cool.
Like that.
Well, I like this one. This is a cool image. We have
cool.
to check out all the other ones. Ryan Ashley here. This is kind of a deep lore from the Discord. Says, welcome to the Yammy Noob Discord. I am your host, Grandpa Nex. May I interest you in some hentai?
We banished the hentai though to the
anime channel.
To the anime channel.
Dude, it's always there.
It is, but that's why we tried to bury it really low.
Yeah.
We know it's thriving.
Luckily, we know it's thriving, unfortunately. Well, luckily, all the anime degens, they trickle in a little bit, but it's not that bad. This is quite the thing. I don't know if I want to have him that front and center on the. I want people to find out about that, not to where like they start and then they see it every
time, because this will be the picture for a while. Because you haven't changed the Discord photo in a while.
That's true. Actually, you know what I just thought of? I think this image actually is not going to be this Turbo Hayabusa replacement. I actually think it's going to be the welcome image that pops up in main whenever they start in. So actually, this could work pretty well for that. So I'll keep that one in there. All right, Falcon here just has a beautiful photo of a Bimota.
Those always do look good.
That is a cool looking bike.
I like how the seat goes straight into the cowl, like it's curved for it.
Yeah, look at that. So that is cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think I don't think it's gonna really fit
enough, I don't
the
think
energy.
It's enough going on, but it is it is. I would put that as my phone background.
Yeah.
Cool photo.
All right, GD Sinclair here with Grimace on a chopper in front of an old busted McDonald's. I like the energy on this one. It's cursed. It's a bit strange.
You feel like it fits the energy?
I kind of do, but it's also like McDonald's ain't paying us any checks, so
That's
like
fair.
why are we promoting them?
But I feel like they don't need any promotion anyways.
That's very true.
Yeah.
They don't need to help them out. All right, Pinky here. You see that, Brandon? Me holding my sweet boy, my turbo. But this was before it was turboed. Actually, this is when I had the force exhaust on it.
Before it was
molested.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll keep molested. Molested. I'm trying to look out the door for it, but I keep just seeing the H2.
Yeah. I like this. Me holding it as a sweet little baby. It's kind of nice. My treasured little thing. It almost looks like a 1/16th scale model of it or something. But I don't think it's good enough to be like, the welcome image, So far, the welcome image to me, this one is the best one. As cursed as it is, honestly.
That's fair.
Let's keep going here. So this one's just a meme from Pinky. It says, when you see a guy that bought his first bike, and it's a tiny little guy, and I'm just giving a little thumbs up. That's an old photo of me, man.
That is you haven't worn glass. Actually, no, you have, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a photo of you wearing glasses, but I haven't seen you in glasses in
a while.
Years.
Yeah.
Probably like right when I first met you.
Yeah. I was wearing glasses a lot back then, but now I've been wearing my contacts more. That's an old photo.
Yeah. A little flashback.
Yeah, a little.
Kind of makes you wonder how many photos he has of you.
A lot of content on me.
Yeah.
People want to find photos of me, they can. All right, Keyboard Cowpoke has this one here. It's got just a dude doing a nice little slide on a supermoto. That's kind of cool.
Multiple slides on supermoto, as you can tell.
That's right. Yeah, all these single lines.
I still don't think there's enough going on for the welcome image.
No, not quite for the welcome image. So this one is pretty good from Spongy. It just says, welcome squids, Yami Noob Kingdom. Got a little guy.
I do like that.
This is good. Yeah, like this is on brand. It feels good. I like that.
But to me, it almost feels too official.
It needs to be a little cursed.
Yeah, a little cursed, I feel like.
Yeah.
Or maybe a little actionier. Speaking of actioner.
More actiony. There you go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm making up.
Yeah,
word, but it's
Lone Star here with the GIF because we're a boosted server.
There we go.
That's kind of cool.
I like that.
Hey, look at that bike, Brandon.
Yeah.
I haven't been on that one in a while.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You should race it this weekend.
No.
Why?
No.
Show us your speed.
We're focusing on endurance this year.
Yeah, good thing you would race that on Sunday, not Saturday.
We should do something with that bike. We should put freshy tires on it, and then you and I go to like a new track with it and see who's faster with it.
Like a track neither one of us have been at?
Yes, we'd have to go very far for that because you've been every single track in Texas and surrounding areas.
Most, yes.
Yeah, we'll find something. That could be kind of
Yeah, we could find something.
This is cool. I like a GIF. That's kind of cool.
Maybe take Keith with us to help set it up a bit.
Yeah. And then Keith sees the stock suspension. He's like, fuck, here's the piece of shit.
Stock suspension on that. I forgot.
Yeah, Olin's forks. They work really well, but...
Did you ever put linear springs in or they still have the progressive
bone
springs?
stock?
They have the progressive springs still in there?
Is that Olin's factory? They have the progressive ones? I don't think they do.
If you bought that as a street bike.
It's a street bike, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to still have progressive springs.
I guess it does.
Yeah.
Lone Star also had this one here. This makes me look way too cool.
It does. It does. When did you wear that suit?
This isn't a suit. This is my street jacket that I wear when it's not 1 billion degrees out.
Oh.
Yeah, because you can see my regular suit here.
Look at your action photos.
Yeah, this is way too cool. I'm not this cool.
You're so cute. Just the cutie.
He's got this one too. I feel like our e-commerce team is gonna love these. Just like I just look so cool.
Absolutely.
I'm like I'm not this cool. This is really not making me look like I'm like some pro or something, and I'm like the most middling novice ever. Yeah.
I remember the first time I met you, I just gave you so much shit for the gas can that you had, the truck that you were driving in, I think like your gear bag that you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? It's all just jealousy. That's okay.
Get a new gear bag. I swear. You finally, after almost 4 years, got a new gas can. Thank the Lord on that.
That gas can sucks. The one
and it took you that long to replace it. And
the new one that you made me get. That one sucks too, just for different reasons.
Different reasons, yes.
That's why I'm like, who gives a shit?
But it sucks less than what you had.
All right, moving on to the next one. Snow here has this one. Just kind of telling you what it's going to be. You're going to get giveaways, reviews, advice, and content, and then it's my beautiful visage right there. Look at that. Yeah. It's okay. And then this guy here says Mid-Journey plus some Photoshop. So this one's AI generated / helped with.
It's
crashing through a wave. That's kind of interesting.
Cool.
On a, what is that? I know that bike, or it looks kind of similar to... what? I remember this headlight shape from something. I don't remember what.
I mean, if it's AI generated, it may not be a specific
much
brand.
anything.
It
Yeah,
it might mesh.
It's like giving me like weird vibes of like memories I've had with motorcycles. But those are all the entries we had. Brandon, what's your favorite? I'm between this one. I like this one, the Welcome Squids one.
And this is just the welcome image. This isn't going to be replacing.
This is not replacing the Turbo Busa guy up there. I was actually incorrect. This is replacing the welcome image in main.
We need to.
It looks like people like this one too.
We need to replace the Turbo Busa one as well.
We'll replace that one with something.
For the welcome image, I'm regretfully saying that I think the welcome squids, just because if it is a welcome image, it should say welcome, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that one probably works the best, I feel.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll update the Discord bot with this one. And Spongy, congratulations, you are the winner for this week. Shoot Brandon a DM on Discord, and we'll sort you out with the $100 gift card for the store. You can pick up something that you want. And for Lone Star, because you submitted me so many cool designs that just look really way too cool for me, I'm gonna also give you $100 for yaminoob.co. Pick out something you like, because these are cool, man. We could actually use these for something, you know. I don't know what for, but we can use it for something.
Posters on your wall. Is that what you're gonna put them as?
Very self-effacing. We should do this with. Remember, I told you I want to do the intro with you. Like, I want to make that little like cursed song about you, and just have like all your highlights from racing.
Oh god.
We can do this one for me. Just have it like pan slowly. Yammy noob sucks at novice racing.
I mean, you are making all the music all the time, so you could.
I am. That's right. That's right. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the show for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you appreciated it. Thank you for watching the Yamcast. Remember, if you want to join up, everything we do here starts at yaminoob.co. Become a member, join the Discord, get your discounts. It is a great way to support what we do here. You get entries to win all the bikes, too. It's a fun time. Thank you again to Brandon. Yeah. You're settling into your own here.
Exactly,
it's beautiful to see.
Exactly. A little thirsty, though.
Yeah, grab yourself a drink really quick.
A little thirsty. Yeah. Don't mind me.
Yeah,
keep going.
No worries. Okay. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Keep watching Yammy Noob!